Make Your Bed. Little Things That Can Change Your Life, and Maybe the World. Author Admiral William McRaven. Introduction. Make Your Bed is a best-selling self-help book written by retired Admiral William McRaven, based on a commencement speech he gave at the University of Texas in 2014. The book's title comes from the idea that starting your day by making your bed sets the tone for a successful and productive day ahead. The book is divided into 10 chapters, with each chapter containing a lesson learned from McRaven's experiences as a Navy SEAL and in other leadership positions. The lessons are intended to help readers develop the discipline, determination, and resilience needed to overcome obstacles and achieve their goals. Throughout the book, McRaven shares stories from his military career and personal life to illustrate the importance of each lesson. He also draws inspiration from the experiences of other individuals who have faced adversity and triumphed. Make Your Bed has become a popular motivational book, inspiring readers to take action and pursue their dreams. Its practical advice and inspiring stories make it a valuable resource for anyone seeking to improve their lives and achieve their goals. Chapter 1. Start Your Day with a Task Completed. In this chapter, author Admiral William McRaven shares the importance of starting each day with a small but meaningful accomplishment, such as making your bed. McRaven explains that this simple act can give a sense of pride and satisfaction, setting the tone for the rest of the day. He uses his experience as a Navy SEAL to illustrate the value of completing even the smallest tasks, as they can contribute to a larger mission. Throughout the chapter, McRaven shares examples of how the discipline and routine of making his bed each morning helped him build the mindset and habits necessary to achieve success in his military career. He also discusses how this concept can be applied to everyday life, emphasizing the importance of taking action, setting goals, and staying focused on the task at hand. Overall, Chapter 1 serves as an introduction to the book's themes of discipline, resilience, and personal responsibility. It sets the stage for the lessons and anecdotes that follow and encourages readers to start their own journeys towards success and fulfillment by taking small but meaningful actions every day. Chapter 2. You Can't Go It Alone. In Chapter 2, Admiral McRaven emphasizes the importance of teamwork and the value of building strong relationships with those around you. He starts the chapter with a personal story about a grueling SEAL training exercise where he and his teammates had to carry a heavy inflatable boat over their heads for miles. This exercise taught him that the power of the group is far greater than the power of the individual. McRaven goes on to explain how, as a leader, it's essential to surround yourself with people who are smarter and more talented than you. He says that every great leader he has ever known had one thing in common: they all had a strong team behind them. He also stresses the importance of being a good teammate yourself and how this can make all the difference in achieving your goals. To illustrate this point, he tells a story about a Navy SEAL mission to capture a high-value target in Iraq. During the mission, one of the SEALs was shot in the leg, but instead of leaving him behind, the rest of the team carried him out of danger. This act of selflessness and teamwork ultimately saved the SEAL's life and ensured the success of the mission. Overall, McRaven's message in this chapter is clear: you can't achieve success alone. Building strong relationships with those around you, being a good teammate, and surrounding yourself with talented individuals are essential ingredients for achieving your goals. Chapter 3. Only the Size of Your Heart Matters. In Chapter 3, he talks about how the size of one's heart is more important than physical size or strength. He shares a story from his Navy SEAL training when he and his team were tasked with carrying a heavy boat over their heads for miles. The task was grueling, and some members of the team wanted to quit, but McRaven realized that they could not succeed alone, and they needed to work together to get through the challenge. McRaven also discusses the importance of being kind and compassionate to others, regardless of their background or circumstances. He shares a story of when he was in the hospital recovering from a parachute accident, and a nurse showed him great kindness by bringing him food and helping him eat, despite the fact that he was a tough and intimidating Navy SEAL. The chapter concludes with McRaven emphasizing the importance of being a good person and treating others with kindness and respect, regardless of the situation. He notes that this can have a positive impact on one's life and the lives of those around them. Chapter 4, Life's Not Fair, Drive On. Chapter 4 focuses on the idea that life is not always fair and that it is important to accept this reality and keep moving forward. The chapter begins with Admiral McRaven recounting a story from his Navy SEAL training. During one of the grueling swims that trainees had to endure, McRaven noticed that one of his fellow trainees was struggling and had fallen behind the rest of the group. McRaven offered to help him, but the trainee refused and told McRaven that he didn't want anyone's help and that he was going to make it on his own. McRaven admired the trainee's determination and realized that he had the right attitude to succeed in the program. McRaven goes on to explain that life is not always fair and that there will be times when things don't go your way. However, it is important to accept this reality and to keep moving forward. He encourages readers to embrace the challenges that come their way and to learn from their failures rather than becoming discouraged by them. The chapter ends with McRaven sharing a quote from his favorite book, To Kill a Mockingbird, by Harper Lee. I wanted you to see what real courage is instead of getting the idea that courage is a man with a gun in his hand. It's when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. He explains that real courage is not about winning, but about persevering in the face of adversity. Chapter 5, Failure Can Make You Stronger. In Chapter 5, Admiral McRaven shares the story of his experience during the demanding SEAL training. He describes the rigorous Hell Week, during which trainees are pushed to their physical and mental limits with non-stop training, minimal food and sleep, and constant stress. The goal of this training is to weed out those who lack the mental toughness and resilience needed to become a SEAL. During this week, McRaven found himself struggling to keep up and facing the possibility of being dropped from the program. However, he also witnessed many of his fellow trainees quit before they reached their breaking point. He realized that these people were not necessarily weaker than the others physically, but lacked the mental toughness needed to push through the pain and exhaustion. McRaven goes on to explain that failure is a natural part of life and that it is our response to failure that determines our future success. He encourages readers to embrace failure as an opportunity to learn and grow stronger rather than allowing it to defeat them. He emphasizes the importance of resilience, persistence, and determination in overcoming challenges and achieving our goals. Chapter 6, You Must Dare Greatly. In this chapter, Admiral McRaven discusses the importance of taking risks and daring greatly. He shares a story from his Navy SEAL training where he and his fellow trainees had to crawl through mud under barbed wire, with machine guns firing over their heads. During this exercise, one of his fellow trainees froze in fear, which put the entire team at risk. McRaven explains how this experience taught him the importance of taking calculated risks and pushing oneself out of one's comfort zone. McRaven goes on to explain how taking risks can lead to great rewards and opportunities, but it requires courage and the willingness to face potential failure. He encourages readers to not let fear hold them back and to have the courage to pursue their dreams and aspirations, even if they seem daunting or unattainable at first. Throughout the chapter, McRaven emphasizes the importance of learning from failure and using it as a stepping stone to future success. He encourages readers to not let failure define them, but instead to use it as a motivator to keep pushing forward and to keep daring greatly. Chapter 7, Stand Up to the Bullies. In Chapter 7, Admiral McRaven discusses the importance of standing up to bullies, both in the literal and metaphorical sense. He recounts a story from his SEAL training days when a fellow trainee was being physically and verbally bullied by a group of others. The trainee stood up for himself, and even though he was beaten up, he gained the respect of his peers and the bullying stopped. McRaven emphasizes that standing up to bullies is not just a matter of physical strength, but also of moral courage and conviction. McRaven also talks about the importance of standing up to bullies in the workplace or in other areas of life where there may be those who abuse their power or authority. He encourages his readers to speak up against injustice and to not be intimidated by those who may try to silence them. He explains that by standing up for what is right, we can make a positive difference in the world around us. The chapter ends with a reminder that standing up to bullies is not just about protecting ourselves or others, but also about maintaining our own self-respect and dignity. When we allow others to bully us or others, we give away our power and lose a part of ourselves in the process. By standing up to bullies, we assert our own strength and integrity and inspire others to do the same. Chapter 8, Rise to the Occasion. Chapter 8 emphasizes the importance of rising to the occasion when faced with unexpected challenges. The chapter begins with the author recounting his experience during the Hell Week of Navy SEAL training when he and his fellow trainees were pushed to their limits physically and mentally. The author then goes on to share the story of his friend and fellow SEAL, Mike, who was diagnosed with cancer but refused to let it defeat him. Instead, Mike chose to fight back and set a goal to run a marathon while undergoing chemotherapy. He not only achieved this goal but went on to run multiple marathons and even an Ironman triathlon. McRaven emphasizes that life is full of unexpected challenges and setbacks, but it is important to rise to the occasion and not let these obstacles defeat you. He encourages the reader to set ambitious goals, even if they seem impossible at first, and to have the courage and determination to pursue them. The chapter concludes with McRaven sharing a quote from his SEAL training instructor, "The only easy day was yesterday." This quote serves as a reminder that every day brings new challenges and opportunities to rise to the occasion and prove yourself. Chapter 9, Give People Hope. In Chapter 9, Admiral McRaven emphasizes the importance of giving people hope. He believes that a single person can inspire others to have hope and create positive change. The chapter begins with a story about a sailor who was at a low point in his life and had lost all hope. He was ready to give up until he received a simple but meaningful gesture from a stranger who gave him hope. This hope changed the sailor's outlook on life and helped him to turn things around. Admiral McRaven then goes on to explain how he tried to give his own troops hope during the war in Iraq. He would visit them on the front lines, listen to their concerns, and show that he cared. He wanted his troops to know that they were making a difference and that their sacrifices were not in vain. By doing this, he gave them hope and helped them to stay motivated and focused on their mission. The chapter ends with Admiral McRaven's advice on how to give people hope. He suggests that we should be kind, show empathy, listen to others, and offer words of encouragement. By doing so, we can help others to see that there is a brighter future ahead and that they can make a difference in the world. Chapter 10, Never Ever Quit. In the last chapter, Admiral William McRaven stresses the importance of perseverance and never giving up. He states that failure is inevitable in life, but what defines a person is how they handle that failure. He shares the story of how he failed the Navy SEAL training test twice before ultimately passing on his third attempt, and how that experience taught him the value of never quitting. Admiral McRaven also emphasizes the importance of teamwork and helping others in achieving their goals. He reminds readers that success is not achieved alone, and that it takes a team effort to accomplish great things. He shares an anecdote of how he and his fellow Navy SEALs had to carry a 200-pound boat on their heads for miles, and how the team came together to achieve the task despite the physical strain and exhaustion. In conclusion, the chapter encourages readers to push through the tough times, maintain a positive attitude, and never lose hope. McRaven believes that with hard work and determination, anyone can achieve their goals and accomplish great things. Recapitulation. The main topic of Make Your Bed is the idea that small actions and habits can have a profound impact on one's life and the lives of others. Admiral William McRaven, the author of the book, emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and of cultivating habits that build discipline and resilience. One of the central lessons of the book is the importance of perseverance in the face of adversity. Admiral McRaven shares stories of his time in the military, where he witnessed firsthand the power of resilience and determination. He encourages readers to embrace challenges and to never give up, even when faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Another key lesson of the book is the importance of building strong relationships with others. Admiral McRaven stresses the value of treating others with kindness and empathy, and of working collaboratively towards shared goals. He also emphasizes the importance of humility and of being willing to learn from others. Perhaps the most famous lesson from the book is the idea that making your bed every morning can have a positive impact on your day and your life. Admiral McRaven argues that this simple act builds discipline and sets the tone for the rest of the day, creating a sense of accomplishment that can carry over into other areas of life. Overall, the main topic of Make Your Bed is the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and cultivating habits that build discipline, resilience, and strong relationships with others. The book provides practical advice and inspiring stories that can help readers make positive changes in their lives and achieve their goals.